Distinguished guests, parents, students, friends and family. The graduation ceremony will begin in a few minutes. We now ask that you stand for the national anthem of Saudi Arabia. As principal of the KAUST Secondary School, I'm delighted to welcome distinguished guests, parents and family members to the KAUST School's 11th annual commencement ceremony. This year is a very special ceremony as it is entirely virtual. Due to social distancing requirements in relation to the worldwide coronavirus outbreak, we cannot celebrate this event by getting together in the auditorium. We will have a regular graduation program with speakers and music, and graduates are live with us and visible on the screen in this program. The teachers of the graduates are also following this graduation, and they will be visible on the screen occasionally as they are proud of their students and want to show their respect for our students by being in the program as well. At the same time, this event is being streamed on KAUST TV Channel 1 and the TKS Sharks YouTube channel, allowing friends, family members and colleagues from around the world to witness this unique event. To begin, I'd like to welcome Professor Brian Moran, Chairman of the TKS Board, Professor Mechanical Engineering and Dean of Graduate Affairs, to share opening remarks.
On behalf of the TKS Board of Education, congratulations Class of 2020. We wish you every success as you go forth from KAUST, confident that you have what it takes to deal with the world that awaits you. You are the ones who will help shape and define this new world. Your TKS education has equipped you well for that. Be sure to thank all those who helped you along the way, your family and friends, of course. Think also of the school leadership, teachers and staff who contributed so much to your education. And think of how the whole KAUST community, yourselves included, responded to the COVID-19 crisis, and what a special place KAUST is, stronger together. We wish you every future success and look forward to seeing you back at KAUST often. Mabruk.
Thank you, Professor Moran. I'd now like to ask Dr. Michelle Remington, the Director of the KAUST School, to speak to the Class of 2020.
Thank you, David. Good evening, graduating Class of 2020. It's a true honor and privilege to be part of this ceremony. This class is a unique mix of students, and this year has definitely been one of a kind. While it would be easy to let the cloud of the current situation hang over our evening, I am determined not to let the COVID crisis interrupt our night. Tonight is a celebration of years of hard work for all of you. This event is about taking the time to celebrate these accomplishments and to provide you all with a final send-off and recognition that you deserve. Graduation speeches often contain quotes from wise people that can provide guidance for years to come. Instead of looking to historic quotes, I shifted to some more modern writing. There were plenty of memes and jokes to choose from as I browsed the internet. And after getting a few laughs from Jimmy Fallon and Trevor Noah, I looked to some of the COVID crisis collaboration mixes. On YouTube, I came upon the Rolling Stones, and the title said it all. You can't always get what you want. Those of you who know the song know that the next line says, you get what you need. While the song in its entirety is not representative of this class or this event, these lyrics provide some pretty sound advice. There have been a number of mornings when I have woken up sad, frustrated, uncertain, maybe even angry. I knew I needed to get over those feelings before I faced the day. So every morning I take a long walk and I think about the lessons that I need to be learning through this period of time. The ability to overcome a challenge like COVID-19, or any other for that matter, is to seek the lesson in the challenge. This period of isolation is not what we would have wanted, but what have we learned? As you look back on these past few months of your life, it's easy to see what you've lost. Time with friends, a face-to-face graduation, and your gala. This is not at all what you or any of us would have wanted, but I challenge you to push beyond this. As you look at what this period of time has brought, I wonder, did it provide what you needed? Did you need to spend more time with your parents before you moved on to this next stage of life? Did you gain more appreciation for all they have done for you? Did you need the time and space to slow down and appreciate what you've accomplished? Did you need this opportunity to step away from formal schooling and external exams to learn the true joy of learning just to learn? As we look around the world, we see tragedy. We see people without jobs, people who are sick, and we yearn to be social, to get things back to the way they were. But when we stop to seek the lesson, we see something different. It's not any one thing. It's in the collection of events that we can start to see what we needed. As humans, change is hard, and oftentimes it takes a crisis to push us to change. The value of family time was being lost in many cultures, and now we have plenty, and we're recognizing there's value to spending time together as a family. The global environment is in crisis, and now we're starting to see what sacrifices may need to be made if we really want to heal the earth. The pace at which we felt compelled to push ourselves and our families was not healthy many times. The result was overscheduled kids, high-stakes testing, and increased risk to mental health of young people. This period of time has caused large organizations to rethink how they do business and evaluate if there are better ways to reach the desired outcomes. This period of time has provided an opportunity for innovation. This year, TKS updated the guiding statements, which included our values. This process led us to identifying inclusivity, diversity, adaptability, innovation, and responsibility as our values. What led us to these was both evaluating what we already exemplified, but also adding areas that we wanted to show an even greater commitment. As the graduating class of 2020, you are inclusive and you are diverse. Of the 35 graduates, you represent 14 different nationalities, and 9 of you are from our host country of Saudi Arabia. I also learned that 13 of you started at TKS in the first year of its opening. What these last few months have provided you is the opportunity to model what it means to be adaptable, innovative, and responsible. You have lived within the rules that KAUST and the Kingdom has put forth to keep the community safe, and this is a great sign of your responsibility to others. Even when it wasn't what you wanted, you knew it was what was needed. You have adapted by moving to distance learning, accepting a new format for your IB grades to be determined, and taking on passion projects to show everyone that you recognize learning to learn is the real point of all of this, not to earn a grade or to reach a score, but to improve yourself. Lastly, you've been innovative. From the IB art show, to the car parade, to this virtual graduation celebration, you've been open to innovative ideas from others and built upon them to make these events something that will be a lasting legacy of the class of 2020. I have so enjoyed watching this class from a distance this year. I have appreciated your perseverance during this tough time, but I also appreciated your positive leadership within the school. There is no doubt in my mind that you are all ready for this next phase of your life. I hope you take with you the values that TKS has instilled over the years and that you continue to exemplify the IB learner profile. I also hope that when times become difficult for you or you reach a rough patch in your life, you can remember to seek the lesson. You can't always get what you want, but you may be getting something you need. I wish you an amazing journey, class of 2020.
Thank you, Dr. Remington, for your farewell words. In the year 2018, we introduced a new feature to the commencement by inviting an outside speaker to the ceremony. This year we asked the students who they wanted to be the speaker. They elected Dr. Christos Chatzichristides, senior lecturer at the KAUST University, to present the speech. Our students have a special connection with Dr. Christos, as he used to teach them at our school before he moved to work at the university.
Well, as you may have guessed, barber shops are still closed in Athens, a fact that explains why I have to wear this nice blue beret. So let me start by expressing my gratitude to our graduating students for selecting me to give this guest commencement speech. I was deeply moved by your invitation that came out of the blue more than 3 years after completing my TKS teaching adventure. Although physically a few thousand miles away from TKS, I'm thrilled to join you in celebrating this wonderful occasion despite the dark shadow cast by COVID-19. Tonight is exceptional, as it marks the end of a 12-year-long trip and the beginning of a lifelong adventure into adulthood. It seems like yesterday when most of you attended my grade 9 science class. I vividly remember the last day of class, also marking the end of my TKS adventure. Saad sketched a flattering portrait of me, featuring a healthy bunch of hair that somehow magically disappeared when the last bell rang, bringing me back to the brutal reality. Talking about artists, I also recall Ezra, Ilanka and Nicholas, all possessing heads of pure gold, scratching on their art books hidden beneath their scientific notebooks. Well, your persistence paid off, as I recently discovered through the fantastic virtual art exhibition together with Judy and Matthew, which were lucky enough to escape my grade 9 class. I also remember Diana's tenacity, Sajeta's academic excellence, Hafsa's immaculate notes, Professor Müller's sharp observations, Hannah's beautiful mind, Stephen's curiosity, Adam's spotless lab reports, Lojane's kindness, Francesca's skills in basketball, Felix's indisputable logic, Harla's angelic voice, John's enthusiasm, and the academic achievements of I, Bethany, Omar, Alfia, and all other students I did not have the pleasure of teaching. Your legacy includes all of those things that have set you apart. Record academic performance, community service, regional rankings in athletics and fine arts, leadership, but most importantly, caring for each other. Congratulations on the successful completion of your high school career. You've made it. A commencement speech should also entail a didactic element. Well, as I'm sure most of you know, I'm Greek and I will borrow Plato's cave allegory, book 7 of Plato's Republic, to explain the role and use of your IB education in your future endeavors. As you are about to receive your diplomas, you still have to go through a painful but thankfully imaginary test. Imagine that for the whole of your life you were prisoners, chained in a deep cave, unable to turn your heads. All you can see is the wall of the cave. Behind you burns a fire. Between the fireplace and yourselves there is a parapet along which puppeteers can walk. The puppeteers who are behind you hold up puppets that cast shadows on the wall of the cave. Thus, you are unable to see these puppets, imitations themselves of real objects that pass behind you. Your reality, what you see and hear, consists of mere shadows and echoes cast by objects that you cannot see. Suddenly, one of you gets released and faces the fire to initially see the object casting the shadows and ultimately escapes out of the cave to witness the real objects under the light of the sun. Now that you have finally found the truth by literally seeing the light, you descend into the cave to enlighten your colleagues. Your eyes are still adjusting to the darkness, and you fail badly your underworld mate's favorite test: to name the wall shadows and predict the order of their appearance. For them, you are nothing but a fool, and your adventure ruined both your mind and your eyes. In fact, they decide to kill anybody else trying to drag them out of their cave. Now let's try to decipher Plato's allegory, starting from the most straightforward symbol, the sun. The sun symbolizes the absolute truth, the first principle causing everything else. Who are the unlucky prisoners looking at the shadow of things? Well, we all are, as we have to infer reality bounded by the world of conventional opinions presented to us by the invisible puppeteers. The puppeteers are people of extraordinary power, forming opinions, beliefs, and attitudes for the rest of us. Who are the strongest opinion makers in our era? Well, media comes immediately into mind. Certainly, the most efficient opinion forming agents of our times. I let you name other influential people or agents of your choice. Above all, Plato's allegory is about education, the process of being led from the darkness of the cave to the light of the sun. Who is responsible for setting us free from our invisible chains and guide us to the truth or knowledge? Well, if your answer was my IB teachers, of course, congratulations, this is the right answer. Let's hear it for all of our IB teachers. Moreover, Plato, borrowing Socrates' voice, compares teachers with midwives, leading us to the painful birth of new ideas based on abilities we already possess. Education can be painful, as all of you that you've stayed late to finish this math, physics or literature assignment can testify. Education must also be active. It's your pain, after all. In the words of Socrates, you should turn the whole of your soul, consisting of mind, body, and desires, into the light. It's my experience that most of the time, the difference between students' performance is not due to lower mental abilities, but rather due to lack of desire to learn. Another reading of Plato's allegory is that our minds fully control our reality, with which in turn we have to live. To remember another passage from the myth of air that concludes Plato's Republic, ούχι μας δαίμον λήξετε, αλλά εμείς δαίμονα ερίσεστε. Αιτία ελωμένου, Θεός ανέτειος. I know, it was Greek to me too when I first read this ancient Greek passage. In simple English, it means that we are fully responsible for selecting our demons with whom we have to share our lives, and therefore we alone are fully responsible for our lives. In conclusion, graduating class of 2020, please pick your demons wisely by putting down your smartphone every once in a while and connect directly to the work for inspiration. For even though you can Google for an answer or a job, or even you can Google for a date, you cannot Google for what is in your heart. The passion that drives you, lifts you up and gives you real purpose and meaning in life. Be open to discover realities different than yours, and most of all, enjoy the adult life that lies in front of you.
Thank you, Christos, for sharing ancient Greek wisdom with us. We especially appreciate Plato's message that education is the process of being led from the darkness of the cave to the light of the sun. I also like the beret. The TKS staff and student choir will now sing the song Remember Me.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry, for even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me, each time you hear a sad guitar. Know that I'm with you the only way that I can be, until you're in my arms again. Remember me.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Miss Johnson and the KAUST Commencement Choir. It is now my pleasure to welcome one of the grade 12 students, Ezra Ottman, to give the first of 2 grade 12 student addresses.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the class of 2020, I would like to welcome parents, teachers, faculty, family members, and guests. Welcome to the 11th commencement ceremony at the KAUST School. It is unfortunate that the coronavirus has prevented us from hosting an on-stage ceremony and have a live audience consisting of our KAUST community members as well as guests. I hope that this will be the first and last virtual graduation at our school. This highly anticipated day has finally arrived. It feels like we started the diploma program just yesterday, but we have already reached the finish line. Firstly, the DP has been a challenge for all of us. However, we were taught in previous years at TKS to not give up when met with an obstacle. As students, we were encouraged to search for the puzzle pieces independently, which helped us become well prepared for the DP. Looking back, I've realized that this is a skill that we will apply in academic and non-academic circumstances. Perseverance is a pillar of a successful life. Although schoolwork was exhausting and time-consuming, it was a learning experience that taught us to become more aware of our day-to-day actions. But we learned that the hard way. I'm sure we all have flashbacks when we hear the word procrastination. Needless to say, finding an optimal balance between leisure time and productivity was a major challenge. During my first year in the DP, I came to realize that workload will only increase with time, and I had to search for a safe haven to avoid losing myself. For me, it was visual arts that kept me going. That said, I have grasped a crucial concept during my years here at TKS, and that is the importance of finding a balance between work and personal life. If equilibrium was achieved, one will be able to have a stable mind and a restful heart, which will, in the long run, improve progress, behavior, and quality of life. TKS has prepared me to embrace hardships, because no matter how difficult a task may be, it will ultimately strengthen me mentally, because I begin to trust myself more, and I start to understand the importance of composure and patience. Mistakes are countless, but what makes them count is how we view them. Every failure is a learning experience, and failures are the trials of youth. And where there is hope, there are trials. Day by day, we learn more about ourselves and discover ways we can make the world a brighter home. We are more than blessed to have attended a school that offers various enriching opportunities, such as extracurricular activities, including sports and musical productions. These outside-of-class events have helped us bond as a class. It has been incredible making memories that will remain timeless. Most of our favorite moments this year were created in the senior room. I will never forget the time our class invented a game using a roll of tape. Students in our grade are outstanding because they have proven themselves responsible by taking initiative in a number of events. A successful event that students in our grade organized is the senior campout, which turned out to be great fun. I'm honored to represent a group of talented, intelligent, and committed individuals. These are the characteristics of leaders that I envision for our future. I believe and trust that the class of 2020 is more than prepared to chase our dreams. I know that, inshallah, we will thrive, fulfill our visions, and make our loved ones proud. As we begin to move on to a greater, perhaps more intimidating stage of our lives and end our journey here at TKS, I'd like to thank teachers for being the most helpful they could be to ensure our success. I'd like to thank all faculty for their assistance in many school events. I'd like to thank my friends for being caring during times of hardship and for showing support. I'd like to thank the principal and vice principal, Mr. Titular and Mr. Boja, for everything they have done to facilitate our learning. I'd like to thank parents and family members for being an incomparable support system. Lastly, to the class of 2020, thank you for making it this far, and raise your head high. Congratulations, we made it.
Thank you, Isra. Your comments about overcoming obstacles and enduring hardship are very relevant at this time. And now, please welcome our second grade 12 speaker, Saad Alderan.
I stood in the school hallway next to my father. It was the first day of school. 7-year-old Saad, wearing one of those little name tags, reading, "Hello, my name is Saad." I looked around to see completely unfamiliar faces. I'd never been as scared as I was when my dad left me that day. I couldn't even bring myself to step into the gym where the cow school would first open. Despite my hopes and dreams as a child, I didn't know what the future would hold for me. 10 years later, I stand here in front of one cameraman, but ultimately among my classmates to deliver this speech on our graduation day. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the class of 2020, I would like to welcome you all, fellow students, teachers, administration, friends, and family. My name is Saad, and it is my honor to stand before you today to deliver this speech to the class of 2020. 4 years ago, when I saw my first graduation for the class of 2016, I thought to myself, I want to be up on that stage, giving that speech someday. I'm actually in an empty studio talking to one cameraman, but the honor is just as great. I've learned a great deal from my 12 years of schooling, but sometimes life gives us the most important lessons of all. Amidst this life-changing pandemic, I've learned a lot of things, and I want to share 4 important lessons I've learned with you. First, I learned that life can be really unexpected. You never know what's going to happen next. And no matter how much you plan, how long you spend working towards something, it can be gone in the blink of an eye. We expected the gala, final exams, senior ditch day, a senior prank. Instead, we got a week where we learned how to cook pasta and eggs on Zoom. It's understandable to make plans, but be flexible and open to opportunity, and enjoy whatever ends up happening. Next, I learned that you should never take anyone for granted, friends or family, so cherish the time you do spend together. We look at the lives lost because of this virus, the people suffering, and we have to understand that life is short, so we should live life to the fullest. Live in the moment with those that make you happy, even if that means being a track and field athlete between the hours of 10 to 12 in Ramadan. You all really just needed a pandemic to unleash your athletic potential. I also learned that you should be careful what you wish for. Before all this, we experienced a great senior campout. We enjoyed each other's company. But man, I wished to never see another one of Yusuf's frisbee passes again, or to eat one of Mr. D's rock-hard chicken burgers. But now that quarantine has started, we all want to be back at the campout, blaming Alfia and Sajda, or Mille and Thaqafi, for being murderers in another game of mafia around the campfire. The fourth and last thing I learned is that every day is a new opportunity to improve yourself. Improve your skills and your relationships. This isolation period could be something of a gift. Instead of letting the lack of human contact consume my energy, I've been able to improve on my Photoshop skills. So Kaust, if you need someone for some poster designs, call me. Some have come to appreciate the view of the Red Sea from their window, or the opportunity and time to call their grandparents, who they may not usually speak to. Prior to this isolation period, the world was moving so fast. Everything was happening minute to minute, and we weren't able to process and just slow down. That's why this was a perfect opportunity just to see what we were doing and plan our future without the worry of getting there too quickly. So, to the class of 2020, despite how much I've learned, I don't know everything, and I don't know what the future holds for us. As we journey on to different paths of life, I want to ask you all one thing. Would you like to know your future? Now think about it for a second. If your answer was yes, then think again, because uncertainty is the greatest life motivator. A timid second grade Saad is here today, 10 years later, taking part in a future they definitely never planned or expected. So fellow classmates, I do not doubt that you will see success in your life, but I am worried that you will enjoy living in the moment as you worry about the future. To the teachers that have got us this far, and the families that have supported our endless curfew extensions and requests to go to the library, I sincerely thank you. Class of 2020, it's been an amazing 10 years with you, and from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the very, very, very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Saad. Your comments about seeing the isolation period as something of a gift demonstrates a positive approach to life. We now would like to look at some of the art products created this year by the grade 12 visual arts students. This year, the students invited Mr. Emerick Marti to deliver the faculty address. Mr. Marti, over to you.
Graduates, family members, teachers and staff, it is an honor to be part of these celebrations, the 2020 graduation ceremony at TKS School. It is such a pleasure to share the intensity of emotions feeling this moment as you, who are graduating, close this chapter of your life story. Parents, you are probably wondering where the years have gone. As you marvel at your sons' and daughters' accomplishment, it doesn't seem that long ago when these young adults we honor today were toddling off to start kindergarten. Of course, living through those years between kindergarten and graduations may have seemed like an eternity for the student, and for some parents as well. You are the class 2020, and you are graduating in a unique way, in unique circumstances. You graduate in a century still in its infancy, at a time in history when our world is dealing with enormous challenges, but at a time when the opportunities created by those challenges have never been greater. You are technology natives, born and educated in a technological world that was only found in science fiction stories when many of us were in school. You tweeters and tweet, read books and news online, and your electronic social networking has shrunk the known world. You are the generation that will take the technology of today to new and dazzling dimensions. You are the ones who will bring solutions to environmental concerns, global warming, conservation of natural resources, and development of alternative energy sources. The issues that my generation is only now identifying. You are the one who will understand the importance of living symbiotically with nature and create balance with the economy. You are the ones who will understand the remedies to cope with the world pandemic. And who knows, there may come a time that some of you live on a space station circling the Earth. So tonight, you are poised to start a new chapter of your life story. Armed with the skills and knowledge you have attained, I can tell you are eager to tackle this next phase, whatever it might be. For some, world universities, college or technical school, or even a gap year will be your next stops. Whatever direction you take, I guarantee that your world will change as you leave high school. And as a result of whatever it is you choose to do, our world will change as a result of your contributions. Contribution that will be determined by how you follow your dreams and imagination. While we celebrate your academic accomplishment and activities tonight, I want to challenge you to continue your quest for knowledge and to discover your own unique ways to contribute to our society. Michel Colucci, a comedian, an artist, and a man who dedicated his life to helping others, once said, "Your life will put many stones on your path. It's up to us and to you to decide if you want to make a wall or a bridge. I can't imagine any of you building a wall, but rather a bridge with all the opportunities that lay before you. So take risks, set goals, take the detours that inevitably pop up and learn from them. You will live in the greatest time of our worlds, a place where you can strive as you wish, gather where you want, and pursue any opportunity regardless of your belief, your gender, or even your age. You are part of a global generation for which professional opportunities and explorations may take you to the furthest reaches of the earth and beyond. I felt the joy as I watched you this year with friendship and care. I saw your unbridled enthusiasm for what you have accomplished. So I want to challenge you to take that enthusiasm that surrounds you tonight out into the world with you and use it to obtain your goals. As you go forward, don't forget the friends you have made and those that you will make along the way. True friendship is a treasure. Continue to care about yourself, your family, your friends, and your world. And wherever the next chapters in your life story may take you, make sure the journey includes joy. In closing, I would ask the graduates to join me in a round of applause for the family members and faculty who helped them reach this milestone. And to those in the audience who are here to honor these fine young adults, please join me in saluting our 2020 graduates of TKS High School. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marti. We appreciate the high hopes that you have for our students and their generation. It is now time for the awarding of the diplomas. As we are not able to personally hand over the diplomas, we have asked the parents of our students to hand over the diplomas to the students on behalf of the director. It is a pleasure to see how the parents are proud of the achievement of their child. A graduation is a special event for the whole family. I now want to hand over to our director for her final words to the students.
It was beautiful to see the parents presenting the diplomas to their children. By the authority vested in me by KAUST's senior managers responsible for the school, it is my privilege to present to you the graduating class of the KAUST School of 2020. As a symbol of their passage from students to graduates, I now call upon the class of 2020 to move their tassels from the right to the left.
The ceremony is now concluded. We thank all graduates and speakers for their contribution to this event, and all viewers from homes around the world for logging in and witnessing the graduation of the students. We will always remember this special graduation, and we hope you all enjoyed it like we did. Thank you.